Alrighty guys, what I have here today is some duels into a Shadow Priest. This one has been kind of requested but in the comment section. So I went out and I found a Shadow Priest named Felito. He was actually I think like 2400 CR in threes, so pretty much the same CR that I'm sitting at right now, although I have been playing a lot of retail. So as you can see, we start the duel. We have so this duel I actually made a mistake. I dropped the duel flag and I didn't have full buffs. You'll see I start the duel, and ideally you want to have your Arcane Intellect with a slow fall, and you want to have the Mage Ward with Mana Shield on as well, with Ice Barrier. So you want to have all of those buffs loaded up. However, this guy kind of caught me off guard. He accepted the duel like right away. Didn't have time to put any buffs on. So the first thing you want to do most of the times when you fight a Shadow Priest is you want to immediately start with Blanket Silence and sheep them. Now, keep in mind, look at this guy's positioning. He's running at me, which kind of telegraphs to me that he's going to wait for the sheep cast to be finished and he wants to trinket and fear me. So what I do is, as soon as I finish the sheep, I blink out, and that allows me to re-kite his trinket fear. So this duel is already looking pretty good for me. I've already made kind of a nice play here. Unfortunately, the not having full buffs at the start of the duel is going to really hurt me here, because as you can see, he only had to purge one thing, and now I'm completely clean. So you can see here I get silenced immediately. I'm pressing my wand keybind. Instead, I decide to trinket it, and I make one small misplay here. The correct play here would have been to... Oh, actually, sorry. My pet is in a fear, so I couldn't pet Nova Deep him. I was going to say, what you want to do is you want to try to stop this VT if possible. What I tried to do is deep him. I noticed my pet was still feared. Actually, a cool play back here could have been, like, while I'm casting this sheep, knowing this guy's going to trinket fear, I should pet move my pet over here so that doesn't happen in the future. So I'm actually learning from VOD reviewing this myself here. But yeah, maybe shouldn't have trinketed this silence then. Maybe should have just let the dots go off. But anyways, I'm going to try to get some burst rolling here. So I put out my orb. I pop my mirrors. He is spam purging me, so I don't have any buffs currently. So I go ahead and I re-buff because I know my veins will get instantly purged if I don't. Then I send out the deep freeze here. I pop the casket. Since he trades disperse right away, I cancel the frostbolt and I take this time to get all of my debuffs up. So I pop my slow fall, pop my mana shield, put the barrier up. Now I'm trying to spell steal his power word shield. Doesn't land. Do it again. Still didn't get it. I'm not sure what buffs I'm getting here when I'm purging. But I blanket silence him as he's purging me because I don't want him to get my ice barrier. I do it. I blanket him, purge the shield here. Now you can see I have a fat 35k barrier. So I go ahead and I sheep him to kind of reset the duel, but you can see the mirror image kind of breaks it. You can press pet follow on your mirror, but that one was just a little bit unlucky. So on this, what I should have done first was rebuffed, missing my Arcane Intellect, because I think I would have had time to fit a rebuff global in there because I had my early frost proc here. You can see my frostbolt is glowing. So I would have had the early frost. So I should have just rebuffed on this global to cover my barriers a little bit more. Then we cast the raw frostbolt. We don't have a way to shatter it really, so I cone him off that. And then he just jumps in and fears me. That was kind of a bad positioning thing on my part. The cone actually kind of misses. And he just walks up and fears me when I was off GCD. I could have easily blinked this. You can see here I get feared. The VT. I just go ahead and block so that I don't even have one tick of the VT on me. However, I do think the best block in this matchup is blocking the Mind Blast, if that's possible. Mind Blast into death actually does like a fair amount of damage. But also blocking to make sure you're never dotted is not bad either. So what I do here is I pop my Icy Veins. I only have one buff, or sorry, two buffs covering it. So I try to immediately get him inside of a deep freeze here in a sec. So I deep him. Or I have an impact first, so I press the impact. Then I deep off of that impact stone. Cast one frostbolt into Lance, and I immediately blink it off the deep because I think I can kill him here if I get lucky crits, but I don't crit, and then I don't crit the second one either. So now with that power word shield, I'm going to try to purge that off if I can. I get it. Oh, my mana gem, I'm getting a little bit low on mana. And then now I want to try to ring this Shadow Fiend as it's on me here. So I'm trying to ring that. You can see he gets a nice little mass dispel. I wasn't able to cancel my cast quick enough to impact it. So he had a nice play there. I rooted off main stud. I get silenced here, so I go into my... Ideally, you should wand on this global if you don't have anything else to do. So you can see I'm getting kind of low now. This duel is actually getting pretty sketch. This is definitely the sketchiest duel I've ever had versus an SP. You'll see some of the later duels that we're going to go over. They weren't too bad at all, but this one I think was a perfect example of like a good Shadow Priest duel versus a Mage. I don't think this is like super well played by me. I do think it's super well played by the priest I'm fighting. This should show you how, in my opinion, this duel is very favored for the Mage. Because even though I don't think I'm playing super exceptional, well, I guess we'll see if I win here, but you can see like it's kind of a rough duel for the SP, because once you run out of Trinket and you run out of Disperse on that third D, most of the time you're gonna die. And the Mage can spam purge all your shields, although the priest can go 1-for-1 with your purges as well, but your silence is a much shorter CD at the same time. You can see a theme in this duel is me getting feared. And you can see that's why the duel is so sketchy. When you actually get feared, that is when you can lose the duel. Because you can see I get dotted, and then he loads up a Mind Blast into a DP, and I actually almost die. I'm trying to spam my mana shield. He instantly dispels it, because you can see I have no buffs, and I immediately Ice Barrier. He's gonna try to dispel that, but I blanket him on it. Pop my Icy Veins. Load up the Frostbolt. I deep freeze him here, cast 2 more Ice Lances, and he does go down. I live at 5% HP. I thought that duel was a really, really good duel from Feilito. I do want to watch some other duels here. So we have Sussman's. He silences me first, so keep in mind at the beginning of the duel, I'm always spamming Blanket. Like if you can watch my globals down here, I'm literally spamming it. But he does get it first. At this point, he goes for the VT out on the silence, and this was a big mistake, I think, because I'm able to just Trinket out of that silence and kick him for 8 seconds on Shadow. So that gives me a lot of pressure here, because I just Frostbolt into a Frostbolt Pet Nova. That's a big shatter, and then I go ahead and I load up one more Frostbolt into a Deep Freeze. So you can see I kind of space my Deep Freeze there. I'm abusing the fact that I have an 8-second interrupt on him. Right here, he's blanketed for 4 seconds. You're probably like, why are you not just shattering these Frostbolts? Why are you not deeping him right away? Well, he's still locked out for 4 more seconds. So I want to abuse this time where he can't like disarm me or do anything else. And plus, if I deep freeze him, it's kind of a reminder to him to disperse, right? Whereas if I burst him outside of the deep freeze a little bit while he's kicked, then deep him late, I still get value. So he actually decides to Trinket and disarm me, which is like a little stun. And then I impact on that VT. Don't really have deep or blanket yet. So I'm just going to cast Impact into Ice Lance there. He's going to get really low. He does have a lot of buffs covering that Power Word Shield. So I'm trying to purge it. I actually get it first try here. I get it really lucky. So I cast another Frostbolt, but you can see he is running at me for fear. So I cancel it, and I try to space it a little bit with Cone. But the correct play here was actually blinking it. Since I knew it was coming, I don't know why I tried to jump in Cone. Blink was the obvious play here. You can see I'm not going to block aggro this duel. I think I can win this duel without using my block. So on these couple of globals while he's healing, I'm just going to go ahead and pad my buffs back up so that I can get an Ice Barrier rolling. And he can't instantly purge it now. So I have a fat 35k in shields. Shadow Fiend comes out. I'm not really caring about it too much right now because I want to stay on the offensive. So I Pet Nova with Frostbolt, break his shield, root the Shadow Fiend, send in an Ice Lance proc. I have a kick, so he's sitting here just casting VTs, trying to fake. I throw out the orb. I still have my interrupt here, holding on to it, miss my cone there. Trying to get some way to deep freeze him here. So I get a proc from my orb. The deep should be coming out. I load up a Frostbolt, and he disperses. So on deep freezes where you don't have veins, you only want to cast one Frostbolt into an Ice Lance, and then into another Ice Lance. But if you have veins, you can Frostbolt, or like deep freeze, Frostbolt, Frostbolt, Ice Lance. You can see that was my kind of rotation there. Drop a ring on him. He misses his fear. I'm just trying to keep him in my orb best I can. So I'm kind of trying to play around it a little bit. My orb is like way over there actually. Just trying to, yeah, he's out of it now, unfortunately, but not bothering to spell steal these buffs because I know he has no more CDs left. So I might as well just go for the kill here. I get silenced. On this silence, I have no way out of it. I could block this, but again, I'm trying to save my block here. So I just go for the wand instead. And then I do have counterspell available. So I am looking to potentially CS something. CS the Mind Blast. Just going to spam purge off that shield real quick. Somehow not getting it, by the way. And then I just load up the Pet Nova Frostbolt, Ice Lance, and take him out. So let's watch another duel here. So you can see this game is a little bit different. He didn't even start with full buffs. This can be a giant advantage for us. So on my blanket, I actually just purge, and then I go into the sheep. A little bit greedy because I think he had a little bit of death. So you can see he immediately trinket silences me, and I have no way to like CC this cast on my trinket unless I pet Nova deep him, which honestly should have been my play. So I can deep that cast. Let's see, I pop everything here. I cast Frostbolt, Frostbolt. This is the Veins rotation in a deep freeze. So you deep, unused trinket, Frostbolt, Frostbolt, and then you want to use like an instant cast. I go for my Frost Firebolt instead of my Lance. Huge shatter there. He shields. I put out my orb. I try to kind of root him in it. Not even going to try to steal the shield. I'm just going to try to shatter this Frostbolt into this Nova. I get an impact proc, and yeah, I just send the Lance and he immediately dies. So pretty good duel there. Let's do one more duel. So yeah, I have all my debuffs up, or sorry, all my protection. Let's see how this duel starts. He gets the silence first. I trinket. I didn't actually use my CS there, thankfully. I didn't get faked. I ring the Shadow Fiend. Big Pet Nova Frostbolt Ice Lance with a counter spell in there to lock the VT. Since I know he's locked out, I can go ahead and safely cast a couple more. Try to fix my nameplates because they look a little bugged out right now. And then I can go ahead and deep that flash heal. Have every single trinket proc in the book, so that Frostbolt, if it crits, is going to do some pretty large damage. Doesn't crit, unfortunately. You can see I'm not Veinsing here. One thing I tried to do there with this blink is I tried to range the VT. So you can see cast VT here. And I was a little bit late to blink it, so it did go off, unfortunately. So I'm just waiting for my next deep freeze or my next counterspell here. So I go ahead and I block these dots off. So you can see I have 9 seconds of VT and 8 seconds of Shadow Word Pain. When he disarms me there, I just decide to block it. Kind of a bad block in my opinion, because he's just trying to heal with it. And I could have just used barriers to absorb the dots. Kind of a shitty block. But it's good to see regardless, so that you guys can further understand what makes a good and bad block in these duels. He's trying to Mind Blast me. I did actually miss my interrupt there. So I have my second Veins here. I held it for when I got closer to my deep freeze window, so it didn't get purged and I could fit in more globals on this next upcoming deep freeze. It would impact that VT there. Deep freeze is coming up in like 2 seconds. He disperses outside of the deep, so it's going to be pretty good for us. All we have to do is get a proc here. I wand on that silence. Trying to just Nova him. I get feared on it, which is pretty bad considering I have full dots. Fussman actually playing this duel pretty well. Use my CS there. Get a nice Pet Nova. As the CS ends, then I go for the deep freeze. Only going to do one Frostbolt into Lance here, into another Lance. Not getting any crits this duel. It's pretty sus actually. I'm using a couple barrier globals. I go up to him, I cone him, but I don't want to get in range of fear, so I'm kind of just spacing here. I actually try to, so this is like something you can kind of do. You can see I did blink the fear here. One thing you can do is you can like start a cast. So I see he's coming to me. I don't have a way to instantly slow him because I don't have a Pet Nova, I don't have a cone off CD. One thing you can kind of do to bait him from fearing here is you can start the cast, instantly cancel it, and then whenever he is about to be off GCD, you just press a blink. You can see I kind of baited him there by starting the Frostbolt cast. Then as soon as he got in range and was off GCD, I blinked. That cast right there is a pure bait. It does work until people kind of figure out that you're doing it as a bait, but it works more than you think, trust me. So I blink his fear. Trying to get in range to kill this guy. I kick him on VT. It was kind of like a pre-kick. I could see with his movement that he was stopping. See, he stops right there, so I know he's about to cast, so I kind of pre-kick him there. And then I just load up the Pet Nova into the Frostbolt Ice Lance. Man, my crit this duel, I basically have I crit any spell. Blizzard, please, like, come on. And then I impact him, cone him off. Deep again. Frostbolt Ice Lance. Luckily we got a crit there, and then yeah, finally took him out. Good duels into the Shadow Priest. Let me know what class you guys are trying to see next. Check me out on Twitch, ttv/Aeghis. Alright, so I have a duel here versus a guy named Felito. We're going to spam That. Let's see, he might trinket. Yeah, I pre-kite the trinket fear. I wand this. I'm gonna trinket that actually. Okay. Just waiting for my pet to get out of CC here, and then I can start killing him. I need to rebuff though. Deep him. He dispersed right away. Okay. So I'm gonna use this time to rebuff all different types of globals. I'm gonna try to steal that powered shield too if I can. He's going 1-for-1 purges on me. I'm gonna sheep him again to reset here. Oh, the mirrors might troll me. Yep, got it. Big frostbolt there. Here's me. I'll block this most likely if you cast VT. Yeah. Purge him here. Kind of fell, but I have a big shatter there. I can deep him too. And then this will be his trinket, I think? Or no. Blanket him off. I'm gonna cast another frostbolt. He doesn't have fear for a little bit. I'm just gonna sit on his face. That sounded a little sussy. Okay, I'm gonna try to drag this thing into the ring here. Impact him on the MD. Fuck, that's close. Big damage on me. Fuck. Need to get him before the fear here. No, it hits me, dude. I need to use my second block, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. Big cast here. Deep freeze. Could be game. That was actually a really good duel though. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. So we immediately want to start with like a blanket on him. So he goes first. I trinket and I kick him. And now instead of sheeping him here, I'm just going to start parsing because he's kicked on shadow for so long. Looks like he dispelled some of my non-important buffs. I'm going to impact that. And I can blink through the next one too. First the shield. Got it. Has to use here. Trying to avoid fear. Don't have a stop for any of these. I'll go ahead and just pad some trash buffs here while he's doing that. So that I can barrier and not get purged on it. A little bit big shatter here. I'm gonna root this Shadow Fiend as well. Sitting on my kick right now, it's really awkward for him. I root him in my orb. I don't have it. Mirrors. Deep freeze. Still going crazy on him. Nice. I'm gonna ring him off that too, if possible. No, it wasn't. Did miss his fear. I'm gonna clean him here. Wand while I'm silenced. Clean him. So if he ever shields, I can instantly get it. Got it. Oh my god, I can't get the shield. What the fuck? That was really weird. I pressed spell seal like a million times and get it. Big shadow, you should just die. Nice. Also using your Gladiator profile. Hey, got the homies. Alright, spamming silence at this point. Got it first. We're gonna use one purge global, and then the next one should be sheep. We should get that in time. Oh, barely. He trinket silences me. I'm just gonna go ahead and deep this cast. I'm not gonna use an orb global. I'll put 2 frostbolts in here. Frostbolt, boom. Now oh wow, that shatter was huge. Trying to get him in my orb. I'm just gonna shatter this frostbolt. Boom, boom. Had a kick for that. I'm really bad. And wow, yeah, that was a huge shatter. Damn, that shatter. So again, we're gonna be spamming silence here. We didn't get it first, so we're gonna trinket kick. Oh, okay, nice. He didn't get it. He didn't fake me. Drop ring here. I'm just gonna load up a big shatter. Actually, cancel the shatter to kick. Frostbolt did actually go off, and I think he just dies here because he can't disperse. Okay, ranges. I can deep the heal though. I'm gonna put an orb first, so it'll hit him downtown, like that. Oh, the orb got stuck a little bit. That sucks. There's nothing he can really do at this point. I VT, I range it. Actually, I didn't, but it only lasts 10 seconds anyways. I'll just go ahead and block the dot with the disarm. Steal the shield. Root these things. Take him. Ooh, nice fake. Got the shield off though. Veins, and I should be able to get a big shatter here. Impact the VT. Cast another bolt. Disperses that one, okay. See if I can get a proc off this apparition. See if I can put shield. Wand here. Oh, this is actually his best duel. He's trying to fear me. Oh, that range actually hit me. Okay. I believe he doesn't have disperse or trinket, so see if I can kick him there. I did. And I have a pet nova in 2 seconds. See if I can get it. So big shatter there, and then deep him as the CSNs. He did get the pre-shield, so we have to go through that. I can only fit 1 frostbolt in this one. Oh, I can orb him here. Actually getting pretty low. I need to rebarrier and re-mana shield. Orb him here too. Cast a Frostbolt with that. He dispels himself. I'm just kiting it. Kind of wish I would have got one more proc. Fake cast the Frostbolt and then blink when he's off GCD. Didn't go for it. Trying to move my pet up a little bit here. But oh, nice! I kicked him. I kicked him there. That Frostbolt should be game. We'll see. Oh, it's not. Okay, interesting. I have a cone into a deep. Deep freeze there. Not sure when he has D back. Hold a global so I can impact off. Nice. Okay, so that was like, you can honestly see how even if the duel goes a little sketchily, then you can still pretty much win